to order. Third day of December 2024. Let the records reflect that we do have a quorum. The first order of business is, let's do some housekeeping and then we'll approve those minutes. First and foremost, minimum of silence. If you can't silence them, turn them off. Your cellular devices, please. Second, consider yourselves under oath when speaking before this body. Third, if you are speaking for or against, when you'll come to the podium after you're recognized, there'll be a sign-in sheet there. State right on there your name and address, and then for the record, state your name and address because this is being recorded for the record. And after your case is heard, you may quietly exit either door, or you're welcome to stay and enjoy the festivities with us. Now, the next item of business is approval of minutes of the meeting from November 5th, 2024. I certainly hope the board has had an opportunity.
I move they be approved as submitted.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Lister, motion. Mr. Boland, second. All in favor, raise your hands, please. Let the record show that it is unanimous, that the minutes are approved. Then new items of business. We have case number VA01-12-03-24, a variance request for the relief of the required 10-foot side property line setback to be 4 feet from the side property line. The property is located at 4 Mulberry Street, Peak, South Carolina, tax map number 752-1-3-1. And Ms. Katie, are you going to discuss both?
And then vote separately.
And then we'll vote.
That's
twice.
correct.
All right. So, and let the record reflect that we'll be looking at VA 02-12-03-24. All right, Ms. Katie.
The property owners are here tonight to request a variance for their side property line setback and their rear property line setback. The property that we're discussing is there on my right-hand side of the screen that has the green checkered. That indicates that a new plat has been approved and it just hasn't made its way down through the process of getting to GIS to reflect new property lines. So their property now extends over that existing driveway and into that grass area. So they are asking tonight for a 4-foot side property line setback and a 5-foot setback from the rear property line. They're wanting to add on to their existing building. The plans are to house a new conference room in the addition and convert the current conference room into extra office space. And if you go here, that shows their plat that has the new property line and then the footprint of their new building that shows the distances from the property lines.
Anything, does this board have any questions of Ms. Katie?
What type of business is this?
This is EdCon. They are commercial contractors. And this is Peak, in town of Peak.
Do you want to tell us about number 2 first?
So number 2, so the first item is for the 4-foot side property line variance.
Coming back this way forward?
That's correct. And then the second variance, VA02, is so that they can be 5 foot from the rear property line.
Okay. Back towards the pharmacy?
That's correct.
Okay.
And so basically it's so they can be in line with their existing building.
Yes, gotcha. The board have any other questions in this case? All right. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor of this, that would like to add anything to? You're not required to, you just ask if you would like to. Sign, please, and then,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
My name's Josh Edwards. I'm here on behalf of EdCon, address 4 Mulberry Street, Peak, South Carolina. I just want to say thank you for, taking this into consideration. We're at maximum capacity in our office, and just want to expand, and we've had a lot of conversations with the town of Peak, and purchased this property from them with the understanding that we were going to add on. And so they are certainly all aware of it there in town. And it's a piece of property that's really not used very often. So there's a parking lot kind of to the right where we're asking for the 4-foot setback that we're just trying to be very mindful of. And then behind us, be mindful of the pharmacy and the parking and all that's back there. So it's just, we're at capacity and need to add on, and this is really about the only spot for us to do it. So that's why we're coming to you, just to get a little more room in our office.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
Yes, sir.
Does the board have any questions of Mr. Josh Edwards? All right.
Mr. Chairman, real quick, I'm
Yes, go
sorry.
ahead. No.
And just to make sure I understood Ms. Katie correctly, so when you, your goal is to be able to, when you put that in, you're adding for the variances, just the way your building line stays kind of in line, intact on both sides?
Exactly.
Is that the plan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone here speaking against this variance request? All right. Hearing none and seeing none, I call the deliberations closed, and I want the board to remember, we will be voting twice on this case. We have two different cases, but it's one discussion. Oh, let's go to our dear friends. 153-052, C1 through 5. Number 1, there are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to a particular piece of property. Mr. Ransdale.
I concur.
Pat.
I concur as well.
I concur with that, Chairman.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
I do as well. These conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity or in that district. Mr. Ty.
Mr. Chairman, I concur.
Concur?
Concur on that, Mr. Chairman.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
All right, it's unanimous. Because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance to a particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict use of the property. Mr. Ty.
I concur.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
Concur as well.
Concur on that also.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
All right. The authorization of the variance will not be a substantial detriment to adjacent property or the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance. Mr. Ty.
I concur.
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 Concur on that, Mr. Chairman.
The effect of the variance would not allow the establishment of a use not otherwise permitted in the zoning district, would not extend physically a non-conforming use of the land, would not change the zoning district boundaries shown on the official zoning map. Mr. Ty.
I concur.
Concur.
Concur as well.
Concur.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
Board, we're unanimous on agreement on our five findings of facts, but I now need a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to move with the 4-foot variance.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
And Mr. Boland seconds. Now, For the record, everybody please say yea or nay and raise your hand. All in favor? Aye. And all opposed. Let it show that it's unanimous. This variance request is granted. You'll have to wait on Miss Katie. But now, number two, we will, can the record just show that we read 150? The record reflect that we just read 153.05.2 and C 1 through 5. And this board, Mr. Ty, number one.
I concur.
Concur.
Concur on that, Mr. Chairman.
Concur.
All right. Number two, Mr. Ty.
Concur.
Concur.
Concur on that also, Mr. Chairman.
Concur.
Number three, Mr. Ty.
Concur.
Concur.
Concur on that, Mr. Chairman.
Concur.
Number four, Mr. Ty.
Concur.
Concur.
Concur on that also.
Concur.
And number five, Mr. Ty.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
Concur as well.
Concur also.
Concur.
It is unanimous there on the second variance request. I'm ready for a motion.
Move the variance be granted.
Mr. Lister
No.
moves
Now second, no.
and Mr. Metz seconds. Please, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
It is unanimous. Both variance requests are approved. Get with Miss Katie for the time frame, that whatever may be. And again, you're welcome to stay and enjoy the festivities with us. Or you may exit quietly.
Appreciate it.
Next, we have old business. This is case VA 0511-05-24, a variance request for the relief of the required 50-foot road right-of-way setback of Industrial Park Road to be 10 foot from the road right-of-way to cover and existing. So this should be and without a D?
And existing.
And existing concrete pad, okay? The property is located at 71 Industrial Park Road, Newberry, South Carolina, tax map number 294-3-1. Ms. Gates.
So board members, we reviewed this variance at our last meeting in November, and it was made a motion that an open structure, y'all would approve an open structure. After reporting back to Train and the contractor for the addition, it is going to be enclosed. So because it is going to be enclosed, it has to come back before you all. I've got the Train representatives here. If you have any questions for the structure, they'll be able to answer those for y'all tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Gates. The way I understand it, we approved it the way it was written, to cover.
The pad, but this is going to be a structure built on the current pad. Mhm.
Okay.
So the setback, they're not changing that. It's still 10 foot from the road right of way.
All right. Any questions of Ms. Katie? All right. Is there anyone here speaking on behalf of this variance request? Please come and sign your name, and then please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, my name is Tim Lang, representing at 71 Industrial Park Road. I'm the plant manager at the Train facility. What we're looking to do, we're experiencing tremendous growth. And so in the past 3 years, as an example, we've gone from about 50 employees. Right now, we're approaching 200. As part of that growth, we're expecting to continue that growth. We're really going through a huge industry transformation to produce heating products as well as cooling products. And so as part of that, we want to build a test facility. Right now, the test facility is inside the facility, generates all the heat, cooling inside the facility when we're testing products. We want to build a test facility. It would be the largest in Train for that product size, to expand our portfolio, develop the heating products that will ship all over the country, and to continue the growth that we're experiencing in Newberry. So this building would basically be on the back side of the kind of the building at the bottom, and and extend a little bit towards the road itself. So we're expecting the actual enclosed space to approach about 40 feet from the road, but we expect there to be grading and just kind of sidewalks to walk around the building, things like that, as part of the construction activities as well.
So it technically didn't have anything to do with the existing pad. I mean, it's going to encompass.
Correct. It'll butt right up to the pad. We're trying to decide if we want to enclose the pad or do a bigger project later incorporating the pad. Phase 1 will be basically behind the pad in the grassy area behind the building, as well as concreting some of that area for outside equipment.
All right.
It'll be
Any questions?
about 8,000 square feet total.
Mr. Tim Lang. Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Tim.
Thank you.
Glad to see the expansion.
Amen. And the growth of employees.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anyone here speaking against this variance request? All right. Is there anyone else here speaking on behalf of the variance request? All right. Before, we're going to have to go see our dear friends, I understand, but what we did last time is be just negated, and
This will be the standing variance.
the variance request. Okay. All right, hearing no others, I call the deliberations closed, and we go to our friends 153-052C 1 through 5. Number 1. There are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to a particular piece of property. Mr. Ty.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
Concur. Concur.
Concur on that, Chairman.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
Number 2, these conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity or in that district. Mr. Ty.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
Concur. Concur as well.
Concur.
Concur.
Because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance to a particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict use of the property. Mr. Ty.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
Concur. Concur as well.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
4, the authorization of the variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property or the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance. Mr. Ty.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
Concur. Concur.
Concur on that, Chairman.
Concur.
Last but not least, the effect of the variance would not allow the establishment of a use not otherwise permitted in the zoning district, would not extend physically a non-conforming use of the land, would not change the zoning district boundaries shown on the official zoning map. Mr. Ty.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
Concur. Concur.
Concur on that, Chairman.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
Members, we have unanimous on that, and I am ready for a motion.
Move to accept as requested, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Second. All in favor, raise your hand and say aye. Aye. Opposed? It is unanimous. Please get with Miss Katie on the time frame. And thank you very much for being a good industrial neighbor.
Absolutely.
The next item of business is the approval of the 2025 meeting dates.
I just need a motion and a second. First Tuesday at 5:30, like we have been doing.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the board meetings as posted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Those are approved. And the next meeting is January 7th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. And
We do have business, a lot of
a
business.
lot of it. People want to bust 25 wide open.
And
That's
we're
one.
at 7 right now. And it doesn't, yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. That's why they pay you the big bucks. You want to make one more motion?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mr. Ransdell to adjourn and second by Mr. Metz. And all in favor, say aye. Aye. Rise and depart in peace.